What is the impact, do you think, or what could be the impact on the power sector?
Okay, well, in terms of the power and water sector, in terms of capacity, so generation capacity, desalination capacity, Qatar built a lot of capacity between 2003 and 2010. So because of that, it's got quite a healthy reserve margin for power and water. And especially there's a big IWPP power and water project currently under construction. So in terms of capacity, there's not an urgent need for new power or water. An issue that might occur is in terms of its transmission distribution grid. So while the capacity is being built up quite
So they have a big
sizably,
national grid programme, don't
sure.
they?
So they need to expand the grid for the additional capacity, but also the existing grid needs a lot of modification and upgrading. So they've got a big transmission distribution programme, development programme underway just now. And that might cause some issues. There's some big Saudi and Egyptian contractors working on that.
So if you are a big Egyptian or a big Saudi company invested or working in Qatar, where does this leave you?
Well, that's a difficult one to answer. We need to see, but I mean, you know, if there's no movement of people, you know, between the two countries, you know, for project managers moving, so and that sort of thing, and that, you know, goods. There's a block on goods coming into the country from certain locations. That might have an impact.
So those impacts, I guess, are the same ones that Colin has talked about in terms of logistics.
Yeah.
But if you are a Saudi company already set up, well advanced on a project, or an Egyptian company, for example, is there a pressure on you to pull out now, or do we know?
I think we have to wait and see what happens with that.
Okay.
I mean, I think immediately the projects will continue, but I guess it depends how this pans out, whether there's political pressure on companies working there.
And on the developer side, so IWPPs and then more broadly PPPs are the sort of the topic of the moment. In the power sector, Aquapower is the biggest power development company. They're a Saudi company. Does this mean that companies like them won't come into Qatar if the situation continues?
Well, I think, yeah, if the situation continues, and they have got a big IWPP project, should be coming out for tender early next year, not resolved by then obviously, yeah, if you're a Saudi developer, I think it'd be quite difficult to participate in that politically. So it might have an impact on future projects.
I don't think it even has to be an explicit instruction from, say, Riyadh or Abu Dhabi that you're not allowed to work in Qatar anymore. If there's a feeling that if I pick up new work in Qatar, I'm going to be viewed badly in another market and not be able, and have another market closed off to me, that's probably enough of a concern for companies to not pursue new work.